Hi everyone, Tony from Back to Movies here. Today we're going to talk about Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed, and figure out if it's a good sequel or not.
Talking about tapes.
Oh, hey, what's up, Mike? What's up, Brian?
What's up?
Hi, Tony.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. People always say, like, hey, when are Mike and Brian coming back on? When are Mike and Brian come on? We love the Scooby-Doo episodes. So,
That's funny, because on Twitter I saw somebody ask who the hell we were.
I don't know why they would say that. Everyone knows who you are. Well, hopefully they know by now, because you were the star of the Die Hard short.
Oh, yeah. That was a lot of fun to film.
This is filmed the week it's coming out, and I'm sure it was the biggest video of all time.
I don't see any way that it couldn't be.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a graphic of the stats right now for the video, and they're just super, super, like, impressive and amazing.
That's an amazing graph if it's a graph.
I wouldn't know. I was only invited one time. So.
Oof.
You were allowed to come any day you wanted.
I didn't know it was happening. Oh, so it's Mike's fault.
Yeah, I assumed you guys talked to each other. My bad.
Well, it's been a fun episode, guys. I'll see you later.
So anyway, Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. The last episode we did was, is the first Scooby-Doo movie good? And I think we were like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
It was
Yeah, it was
decent.
good. It was
It's a
good.
good 2000s kids movie.
Yes. But then Scooby-Doo 2 came out. I've never seen this movie all the way through.
I watched it for the first time last night. I wanted to wait for this review to watch it because I had never seen it.
No.
In the last episode, you talked about how you were kind of getting out of that phasing for like the kids' movies and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think this was my transition point, and I
Yeah.
just kind of didn't care about it. So I watched it in full literally last night.
I watched it in full this morning.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and speaking of like us getting out of that phase, I think audience in general, we're kind of getting tired of the it's a movie remake of an old TV show. We're pointing out how ridiculous the TV show was. Like in the 90s, that was really big. Addams Family, Beverly Hills Hillbillies, the Brady Bunch movie. There were a lot of them, and then you get your Charlie's Angels and whatnot. But at this point, like this is like Charlie's Angels 2.
But did we really trade off for something better? Now it's just all gritty reboots.
Yeah, they went to gritty reboots.
Yeah.
Well, no. Then that ended. Now we're at like legacy sequels.
Like Wednesday?
And legacy. No, that is a gritty reboot. But there's stuff like
Ghostbusters.
stuff like that. Yeah, where it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
the show, or like Fuller House. Like the show's continuing, but it's kind of the same, but it's a continuation. We're in that period now.
I mean, we are in the holiday time recording this. Even like that Santa Claus show or the Santa Clauses show is like really playing off that. Apparently it's really good and a lot of people like it. Not here to review that though.
No, we're not here to review that. We're here to review Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. Now, did you see this when it came out?
When it came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was, unlike you guys, since you're, a little older.
We're old men.
I
grumpy old
was
men.
in my prime when this came out for Scooby-Doo movies. So I do remember watching it. I watched it probably about as much as I watched the first one.
Okay.
I know who's walking home today.
I haven't seen it in like, oh God, I almost said 6 years, but that's not right. It's probably like 16 years. But I did watch clips and stuff recently, so I'm caught up.
Okay, it's always good to go into a review not having seen the movie in over a decade. Good job. I'm sure
I didn't know this was happening.
I'm sure you'll have a lot of great insight, Brian.
I literally invited him down. I was like, hey, we're shooting today. I didn't tell him it was for this.
You told me like a week ago you were going to ask him. It took you
I
that
didn't give him any context.
What I've learned from this entire experience is Mike is the worst communicator of all time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, you want to come to this building? I'm not going to tell you why.
So, the movie underperformed when it came out. They were going to do a third one, but that all got canned. They cut the budget to this film too, like right before it came out.
Did they really?
Right before it started filming. There were going to be way more monsters, and I think they all appear in like the video game adaptation. But yeah, they're like the pirate was going to be in there. There were going to be way more of those ghosts. Like the pirate ship is floating around. I don't think we ever see the pirate.
Yeah, there's one scene way into the movie, like the last third of the movie.
But it is the same director coming back, and James Gunn is writing again.
And producing, I saw it. It threw me off. Yeah.
I guess this time, because I think we talked last time, like he was gonna try and make the original like more R-rated and adult. But this one, he kind of knows what he's getting into ahead of time.
It throws me off because it feels like they're trying to toe that line between like call back to the classic kid show and making that kind of adult oriented. And I don't feel like that line is consistent at all. Like I have points throughout, but like it's very strange because you get that vibe again. You get that. Yeah, I could tell you wanted to go a little bit harder, but you didn't.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't let them.
No, absolutely not. Not with that property.
By the way, good move. Like, don't do like a horror, like a really adult, gritty Scooby-Doo like that. I don't think that is a brand that can like toe that line. Like
Venture Brothers did a good parody of it on, I think it was like a season 2 episode, but like. You can never get the rights holders to say like, yeah, there's actually going to be like a murder in a Scooby-Doo episode.
Well, now there is.
It's not Scooby-Doo.
It's not Scooby-Doo.
It's a Velma.
If you
TV
acknowledge it as a Scooby-Doo property, we walk out of this right now. It is called Velma. It is no relation to Do.
Well, I guess the reason you don't want to watch that show is because the teaser kind of establishes Velma as racist.
Oh no, I haven't watched anything about it.
Oh,
I
the
just don't care.
teaser, it's Velma. Velma is complaining about a Judy Jetson spinoff that's coming out.
Okay.
And she's like writing to the network, and she's like, "How dare you change her character and give her this origin? You're ruining this," and blah blah blah. And it's like making fun of like the trolls who complained about the Velma show when it got announced. But at the very end, the new Indian Velma just goes,
"Well, at least Judy's still white."
So that means your Velma hates race changing? Is this a racist Velma show? Did Mindy Kaling make a racist Velma show?
I mean, she's just annoying in everything that she does. So, I mean, here's the thing. I heard that she was going to be in it, so I immediately became past the point of indifference to the point of I really just don't care at all.
Oh, yeah, I'm never going to watch it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm never going to watch that.
I don't know. Apparently, you get some hot animated girl-on-girl action. Probably kiss.
I'm not gonna watch
hentai.
I'm not gonna watch hentai. I'm not gonna watch the Mindy Kaling Velma show because I don't like that Velma is racist and I'm against racism.
It just kind of sounds like it's going the other direction.
Anyway, let's get into Scooby-Doo 2, which was almost called Scooby 2.
Oh, whoa.
Missed opportunity.
Why didn't they? Was that a real thing?
Apparently, yeah. But I guess you need the Scooby-Doo name on it. But anyway. It begins with a pterodactyl flying around a CGI city while the credits are coming up.
A bad CGI city.
A really bad CGI city.
Yes.
There's really bad CGI in this. And like part of me is like, okay, is it supposed to be like because they are cartoony and whatnot? But it just kind of takes me out of it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. It felt like I was like going through a Tony Hawk city.
Well, you know, because the practical ghost looks so good. And the CG ghost looks so bad. If they were like consistently terrible, it might work, but
every ghost in this looks like a different render style.
Yeah.
It was so strange.
Yeah. But the Scooby Gang shows up at an event and Pat O'Brien from Access Hollywood is there. Did you guys watch Access Hollywood in the late 90s, early 2000s?
No, I can't say that I have.
I'm not that old, unfortunately.
Well, Pat O'Brien, I forget what he's doing now. He was an alcoholic for a bit. And he famously just left a bunch of voicemails on some girl's phone about how he wanted to have a three-way with her and his girlfriend. And he kept calling her and just saying the most gross sexual things. And it was like the biggest controversy at the time.
Good for him for taking initiative for what he wants in life.
Yes.
Achieve your dreams.
And I'm sure the people who put him in this kid's film weren't like, oh, fuck, when that happened.
Wait, did that happen around the time of
I think
the
it happened a little bit after.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and I was going to do a bit where I pretend he was calling us, but the audio is so bad. Like, the audio is, like, really, really bad.
We could recreate it. I'll call you. You want me to? I
think he does say something like, yeah, we'll do some, like, blow and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, hell yeah. No, this guy... See, you're putting this guy in my top 10 people of all time.
The third movie was going to be about him calling Velma and Daphne constantly.
You know what's funny? Like, I would laugh, but, like, it's on par with half the crap that's in this movie. So, like, all right, yeah, that happens.
I will say Scooby still looks super fake, but as the movie goes on, you kind of, like, forgive it. You're like, okay, I mean, he's kind of a character. It works.
It looks like the same render.
Yeah. Yeah, but his like the coloring is off on him. Like he's not like lit well. Like the CG model doesn't match the lighting in the scene, which is an issue. But everyone there loves Mystery Inc.
Everyone there is a stalker in a weird way. If you really break down that scene.
Yes. Every single person there, every single fan group there is obsessed with just one person in the group.
Yeah.
There's the girls who dress like Daphne, and then the guys who tattoo Daphne on their chests.
Those guys were. I agree.
Yeah.
With them. No. I have that tattoo, so I can't say anything against it.
What about Velma's group of the nerdy science girls who are clearly into her?
So, I'm trying to think how I want to say this because I'm going to piss off people no matter what.
Yeah?
They leaned way too hard into a trope for that one. They really went into the, like, science gets me excited in a weird way. And you're like, okay, I don't really like this.
Yeah.
But, like, they went way too hard. It's kind of like the new Batman game where, like, the nerdy dude that is his only personality trait is nerdy and loves other nerdy. And
Wait, which Batman game?
The Gotham Knights. Oh yeah, it's not a Batman game.
I didn't play it. No, don't ever acknowledge it as a Batman game.
Yeah, I don't even acknowledge Origins as a Batman game. But,
Velma and Gotham Knights they're not canon. They're not in the Warner Brothers canon. But anyway, keep going.
Why not?
I don't know, but keep going.
No, but that's the thing. Everyone's just such a weirdly stalkery person. The fact that Shaggy walks up and like
I do like that Shaggy
just
sniffs the air. Like they know they can't say it, but they're making it like the first movie they tried to dance around and like, oh, are they smoking? No, they're cooking. In this one, it's like it's very clear that they are on a lot of drugs.
The fact that they didn't even have like the guys holding like cheeseburgers for them or anything like that. It's just like it's like, yeah, I've been to a concert before. Like
even Scooby has fans. A bunch of dogs, and one wants him to sniff his butt.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
What if they need him to? Because they wouldn't know who he is until the butt sniffing, because that's how they identify each other. They'd be like, "Is that Scooby-Doo?" Like
he's so obsessed with Scooby, that he wants Scooby to know who he is.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. I will say, seeing Peter Boyle in this, I'm like, oh man, I miss Peter Boyle. He was such a good actor. The old man.
Oh, yes, okay.
From Young Frankenstein?
I've never seen Young Frankenstein. I kid you not. That is one of those movies that just sits on my catalog and just doesn't move for some reason.
Have it over there.
I know, that's why I was playing.
I think
I know your whole VHS background. I'm not a stalker.
Right. I mean, it's changed a lot since you were last here, so
I know.
I'm glad you've been keeping up.
Yeah.
Tony, we're only here to continue the trend of us not knowing anything about any other movie. Because I know
was that last episode?
Yeah. There were a lot of comments that were like, those guys don't know what they're talking about.
That's amazing. But yeah, Young Frankenstein.
Yes, Young Frankenstein. He was in a couple episodes of The X-Files. He was like a huge actor. Species 2. Of course, we all know him from Species 2. But yeah, I was sitting there and I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't seen Peter Boyle in any movies. I'm like, oh, that's right. He died in like 2006. I'm like, that's a fucking bummer.
Was that like his last film?
It probably wasn't his last film.
Did he do the Do 2 and then just...
Do 2 was just like, how do you feel about Cocaine Bear being Ray Liotta's last film?
Was that... Wait, really?
The movie coming out, Cocaine Bear, is going to be Ray Liotta's last film.
That's such an insult.
No, I think it's a good one to end on. That movie looks awesome.
I don't know. With Ray Liotta's career, I wish they would have. So the new Grand Theft Auto gets leaked. It's Vice City. I wish they would have had like one go with him in it because of his old role. My favorite Ray Liotta role still to this day is in Identity.
That was a good one.
It was a
What about Operation Dumbo Drop?
No.
What about Hannibal?
No. Go ahead, name every other one. I'm just gonna keep saying.
What about was that one like No Escape? I think it's called.
No.
Goodfellas.
No.
I like how he didn't start with Goodfellas. I went to like
for some reason I like Ray Liotta in Identity.
Wait,
I love Goodfellas.
What about Heartbreakers with Jennifer Love Hewitt and Sigourney Weaver and Gene Hackman? That's a good one.
I love Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah, you're gonna want to watch that movie.
Yeah, okay.
That is prime Jennifer Love Hewitt. That is like 2000, 2001 Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I shouldn't say I loved Jennifer Love Hewitt. When I was like 14, she was definitely a crush of mine. And my wife still makes fun of me for that.
I have a magazine with her up there. She was definitely a crush. She's still a crush of mine.
Oh, I can't even see it. It's too
She's
much of an
still
angle.
a crush of mine.
She's like 80 now.
No, she is not.
She's in Hollywood years. She's like 90.
My goal is to get Jamie Kennedy on the show. And he'll be like, do you guys want to talk about like Tremors or Scream or this movie? I'll be like, no, when you dated Jennifer Love Hewitt, just tell me everything about her tits. I need to know. You're leaving as soon as you give me every single detail.
You get in here, you draw.
I need you to draw
Just
them.
have crayons and
Tell me
paper on the
every
desk.
single specific thing and then get the fuck out of here, Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah, but she's like 101 in Hollywood years. She's like old and decrepit.
So anyway, so the museum they're at now, it's been a billion years since I watched an episode of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? But apparently these are all monsters from the TV show.
They are.
Yes.
Some
of them look familiar.
One of my buddy's kids watches the show when I'm over there when we're working in his garage. And I can tell you right now, I actually recognized a lot of them. It was weird.
Like, I think the Miner, I've definitely seen.
Miner 49er.
Something. Yes. Yeah, they all look super familiar. And I like that there's just a museum to all these people. So Velma, played by, again, the distractingly hot Linda Cardellini, who only gets hotter. How old is she in fucking Hollywood years? Is she like 10,000?
She's like, what was the last thing she played in? She played in something recently.
I know she's in a lot of the Marvel stuff. She's like in the Hawkeye show, but she's done other stuff.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, she's like the Crypt Keeper now.
She's in that Netflix show with fucking Kelly Bundy. What's her name?
Yeah, with all the gray hair and all that. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
she has MS now. It's pretty sad.
Who does?
The girl in that
Kelly
show.
Bundy?
Yeah, from Married with Children.
Oh, I thought we were talking about
Christina Applegate.
I thought we were talking about Linda.
No. The actress Christina Applegate. She's in a show with Linda Cardellini.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. It's like Golden Girls, I'm guessing.
I fucking hate you so much. So anyway, Velma, she is in awe of this stud of a man, this sexual tyrannosaur known as Seth Green.
No, they absolutely do him dirty on the intro. When he's walking in, and I'm not even talking about like the trip. When he's walking in, they put him next to really tall people, and Seth Green is not tall. It was so distracting watching him walk in and be like a foot and a half shorter than anybody on his sides. It's like he's walking through like the parted sea. Like it's ridiculous.
Oh man, yeah. It's so embarrassing when you're short. It reminds me of the wrestler Kid Osborne.
My only note for him as well was he's Def the villain. That's all I put.
Oh, that's your note? Okay.
That was my note.
So again,
as soon as he walked on screen, I'm like, this dude is definitely the villain.
Okay, because here's one of my notes. As I watched this morning, I wrote, Alicia Silverstone is in this. There's already a triangle brewing, and then I was like, she's the bad guy.
I modify mine. Like, I'm not even kidding. There's somewhere down in these like crazy notes I have it where it's like 100%, she definitely is working with him.
Right away, I was just like, there's a bad guy. Got it. Gonna go home.
It made sense. I wanted classic like nerdy criminology guy is definitely the I tried to get Velma to get distracted, but like no, not at all.
Well, Seth Green is trying to get Velma in bed. But she's like, no, my life, my love, and my lady is the mystery.
Mystery is my mistress. I must heed her sweet call.
He wasn't trying to get her in bed. He was trying to get her to a conference. Let's not muddy the waters here.
Conference. It's like Netflix and chill. You ask people to Netflix and chill and then actually watch Netflix and chill?
No, I don't have Netflix. I run my own server, so I'm the guy with the hard drive in all the green texts that you read online. Hold on, I could get that.
Are you like the people that are like, oh, cool, a Sega Genesis Mini, and you're like, you could just get a Raspberry Pi and modify it and load it with blah, blah, blah. Are you one of those guys?
No, Tony. Just get a Steam Deck.
Yeah, just get a Steam Deck.
There you go.
It's portable.
I have mine with me, actually.
There you go. There you go.
Every Die Hard shoot.
Every Die Hard shoot. In between stuff, he's like,
hell yeah.
So.
Wait, do you not have a Raspberry Pi?
I don't have one of the minis.
What a weirdo.
Video games are for children. Anyway, a new pterodactyl ghost attacks, and he's being controlled by a man in the metal mask.
Which I love.
Yeah, that was
character.
Cool.
He looks like someone who was made by like the old Saban Power Rangers gang, but like crossed with like an MST3K or Mystery Science Theater 3000 character. Like it looks like Crow was made by Rita Repulsa. I loved the design for no good reason.
That might be the thing. The problem with sorry, what were you saying?
I just love like chrome masks.
Yeah, I think the problem is like I actually liked. Remember the ghost in the previous one was awesome. The ghost that started the movie. Like whoever does these movies, they come up with like real creative, original looking monsters. Not so much the CGI dogs in the last one. So like for this movie, just recreating the monsters from the show, and I guess giving them makeovers is kind of cool. But it's like I want to see what other unique stuff you could come up with because the Chrome Mask Man is awesome. But they fail to capture the pterodactyl, and I think the pterodactyl leaves with like 2 of the suits, the Black Knight and something else. I forget what the other one is.
I thought it was the pterodactyl and the Black Knight. I thought that was it.
Oh, that could be it too. Yeah, I think you're right.
We just watched this and we're forgetting details. We are not.
Don't look at me.
Do we just cut it here? This is where the comments start flooding in on YouTube. Like, they still don't know shit.
I do like Daphne in this because Fred's like, I'm going to talk to the press. She's like, no, you really shouldn't talk to the press. Based, because she knows journalism is full of lies and that the news is going to manipulate them. Based. And not 100%.
Can you just read my very last line on this?
It could be fake news, the movie. Because an earlier interview, he's like, Coolsville doesn't really need our help to solve crimes, but we're here if they need us. And then when she plays the clip, it's him going like, they don't need us to solve crime. And then like, that's it.
Little old Coolsville can solve its problems without us. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Like, all right, that's funny. That's funny.
Oh, it's amazing what they do with that. I love how when they don't catch them, though, they go right to blaming Shaggy and Scooby like they're supposed to take on like this full pterodactyl.
Yeah, well,
I guess they didn't tie the rope, but who cares?
The last movie was about all of them coming back together. This movie's about them like realizing like what their strengths and weaknesses are and trying to come to terms with who they are. But yeah, Scooby and Shaggy realize that like they're the worst. They're like, we don't really do anything. Like we fuck up every single time. They're like, we're going to be real detectives from now on and we're going to figure this out.
Which, like, spoiler, they commit to it and they try hard. They try harder than
they really
like
do
anyone
try.
else like to change.
But yeah, they recall their encounter with the original pterodactyl ghost, and it's Tim Blake Nelson, which is pretty funny, from Oh Brother Where Art Thou, a bunch of other movies. But yeah, I like that. What?
I thought you were gonna go into how we don't know Oh Brother Where Art Thou. I do know that one though.
I think it's here.
He squishes the frog in that one, right?
Yes.
That's the I do not like that scene. It bothers me.
A horny toad. Yeah, or the cows getting shot is pretty brutal in that movie.
It's something about the frog scene makes me upset.
That movie's great.
It's
Oh
sad.
Brother Where Art Thou is great. But I like that he went to prison and he made a pterodactyl prison like outfit and like crashed into the water.
What maximum security island of death prison is there that allows you to build a full-on structured wingsuit just so you could go commit seppuku into the sea? Like,
I love. Well, they mentioned that he was cellmates with the Black Knight, Peter Boyle's character.
Yes,
Old Man Wilkles or something. But I like when they go to his mansion. These kids are making fun of them, and Daphne's like, "I got this."
Hey! Shut up!
top tier comeback for a woman her age, which is like 90 in this film.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I was expecting more from someone who killed a person in the last movie.
Oh, that's right. She killed that wrestler.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that that's a thing. Like she straight up murdered a wrestling legend.
But yeah, they get caught in a trap. It's like a literal mouse trap, like the game mouse trap.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny. I like that when they get down there, there's like a Girl Scout and Jehovah's Witnesses that also were captured.
The Jehovah's Witnesses threw me off. I'm like, oh, they're really edging territory here.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fact that they get out though of Daphne's makeup skills.
Yeah.
Where like that's criminal as hell. So like she's a murderer who's like able to break into like these super advanced secure locks. Like what is happening in her world?
But that could be that. I do like that where she's like, yeah, I'm like the girly girl that likes all this stuff, but they do have uses that could help us out. Whereas, you know, modern Hollywood, you have to not be girly at all.
It sounds like you have a lot to say about that. You want to go on a tangent?
Yes, I'm actually for the next 3.5 hours, I want to talk about Brie Larson. So part one. No, I'm kidding.
Tony,
no, well, let's go. Let's go. No.
How do you feel about Milan?
Mulan. I didn't watch it. I heard it was really good.
They're both fantastic. Brie Larson is an amazing actress in Scott Pilgrim and only Scott Pilgrim. And the original Mulan was a fantastic film. I agree. I got you.
Yes, the original Mulan. After hearing what they did to the new Mulan, it made me appreciate how much I like the original Mulan, which I did before. I'm like, do I even like that movie? Then I'm like, oh, yeah, they didn't do that in the new one. I'm like, I like that in the old one. I'm like, oh wow, I think I really like the original Mulan.
Yeah, I really like the original Mulan.
The only change I could see them making for the new one is like the love story. I understand them changing the love story in the new Mulan, because in the original, it's like a guy going like, am I gay? And then his happy ending is, oh, thank God I'm not gay. That woman just dressed like a man. I'm like, oh yeah, you probably can't do that now. That's probably a little rough now.
So you're saying your hatred of modern ideologies is what drives you to love the old films. Is Gran Torino your favorite film?
Also the new Mulan thanked the security force in charge of a concentration camp in the credits. So
As they should.
no, that's a real thing.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's because they filmed in China.
You gotta lie to me about that and say that didn't happen.
No, that's a real
There's
thing.
no way that they let. What the?
That's a real thing.
What the hell?
Yeah. Disney. Well, this channel's getting shut down.
You guys want to talk about Winnie the Pooh next?
So they get out of the traps. And they start exploring. I love the gag that Scooby's like, okay, I'm a detective now, and he just keeps missing all the obvious clues.
Like the real
like books that say like top secret plans, blah blah. And he's all like, underwear. I'm gonna put this on my head. It's like, oh my God, you're fucking stupid. But they think they find a real clue, right? It's like a post-it note that says something.
It says the bar tonight. The bar that they're supposed to go to. The faux ghost or something like that.
Yes. Faux ghost. That's funny. Fake ghost.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I didn't
It was such a softball joke.
I didn't pick up on the name.
How?
Because I watched this very early this morning.
The one thing when they're searching, and I wrote it down, it's like the fact that the Sir Mix-a-Lot record, like the actual record plays, but like it has dust on it too, because that song hasn't been relevant for as long as
because
those
they're
players.
like the dust, like anything that's not dusty will give us a clue what he's used recently.
It's just like Baby Got Back is just covered. There's like an inch thick layer of dust on top of that record.
But yeah, they find a book from the previous dead pterodactyl guy there. So they're like, he's up to some plan. Oh, we forgot to mention the pterodactyl guy had some substance, the randomonium or something.
Yes, you're 100% correct.
Yes, and he was going to use it to make monsters, but he never quite figured it out. So the hunch that they have is that the Black Knight is trying to pick up where he left off. But a ghost Black Knight shows up. And he attacks. Yeah, he attacks.
I don't know what the reaction was there. Ghost Black Knight shows up. Oh my God.
Well, look, he starts attacking them. I forgot to mention, before the attack, they start singing the Sinatra song, Strangers in the Night, which is where the name Scooby-Doo came from.
Oh, wait, is that really?
Yeah.
I did not know that was a reference. That's actually kind of cool.
Because Scooby-Doo was supposed to have a different name. And it was like a catchphrase that was popular at the time.
Shiggity schwaggity, what's in the saggity?
It was like too much, I think.
That
those shiggity shaggity, but
shiggity schwaggity, what's in the
I think
saggity?
I read that Scooby's name was going to be Too Much, because I guess in 1969 they're like, you're too much.
And a bag of chips.
Yeah, but then I guess someone listened to a Sinatra song where he starts scatting and he says Scooby Dooby Doo.
What?
The singing scatting, not the shit scatting.
What?
Yeah, scat.
This is a disgusting channel. And
Are
quite
you
obscene.
Are you not a scat man?
No. I'm going to put this on. No.
I'm a scat man. Anyone who was relevant or anyone who was around in the 90s knows what I'm doing.
I really hope.
What is happening?
I really hope you keep this in, because I'm just going to clip this, post it all over the place.
You guys don't know what I'm talking about. Everyone else is going to be like, oh yeah, Scatman. I remember that song.
No, I get it. I don't know why. I don't know what this bit is.
I isolated sound clips out of context. Are just going to be amazing.
Like Alicia Silverstone?
For the new Twitter.
Anyway,
I don't understand why I got 50,000 new followers.
so the Black Knight attacks them. And I did forget that the previous film establishes Daphne as like a fighter, and I like that that carries over into this one.
She's badass in this one.
She's like, oh yeah, I'm the fighting one. I'm like, oh yeah, that was something they established previously, and now it's coming back.
When they first start running, like before Daphne kicks into like badass mode, I did like the little callback to the old school Scooby-Doo, like the running away through the mansion, barricading the door, the guy help, like the
when the monster would like help them for no reason.
I love that kind of stuff. So that callback, like when I saw that, I was like, okay, that's cool. I like that.
But yeah, they discover during this that the old man is using the elements to make ghosts and monsters. They're like, okay, he's up to something. But then Seth Green shows up at their place. And Velma's like, oh no, the boy I like. What?
I'm out of order here in my brain.
Hey,
I remember now, but like she like crawls away. Okay. Yeah. I was like 2 scenes behind for some reason.
So yeah, Velma, I moved forward a little bit.
You moved way too far forward.
Look, I don't think we need to dwell on Scooby-Doo 2 for 2 hours. I think this could be a shorter episode.
Well, the big thing is I wanted to dwell on the fact that Daphne has her own face on her shirt, and I don't understand what kind of person does that.
Anyway, yeah, so at their place, Seth Green shows up. And Velma's like, oh no, he's so hunky, I can't do this. And then Daphne's like, you gotta like talk to him. He thinks you're amazing. And she's like, and Velma's like, I'm not hot. And I'm sitting there and I went, you fucking liar.
Well, yes. Yeah. But two, like, what in the first one, wasn't it established that she was hot?
Yeah.
In like a couple scenes?
Very. She had her cleavage out and everything.
It was like a weird character reset on the confidence charts.
Yeah. And then they're like, okay, she's not hot enough. So then they put her in skin tight leather. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, what are you doing to me, movie? It's
so weird because it's like the fan service for a kid's film is very strange. Like you said leather. I thought it was like a vinyl outfit. Like I was thinking
vinyl,
like,
sure.
The only reason I'm thinking like the old Offspring song. Like I'm like, what the heck is this?
She's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my entire life. I do like that she's awkward in it.
What about Jennifer?
She's the second most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my entire life. I do like that, even though she's like, she looks great, she doesn't know how to like walk in it, and it's like making sounds. Like, that's funny. That's funny. I do like when they get to the old faux ghost bar with all the criminals they unmasked. Like, that's just where they hang out all together.
I like the games that they had in there, like the Whack-A-Scoob.
Oh yeah,
that was a nice little
Jinkies.
Touch.
Let's split up, Jinkies.
Yeah, that was a fun little scene.
But I love that Shaggy and Scooby's costumes work. They're dressed like disco pimps or whatever.
Disco pimps is the most accurate term I can think of for that. So yeah,
but they go up to Peter Doyle and like Shaggy. It just looks like Shaggy. He's just wearing a hat. And Peter Doyle's like, yeah, you know. Blah, 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 this happened to me. He's like, oh, and like Shaggy's like taking off his hat. Like, I bet you really like Mr. Ink now. And he's like, no, I hate him. And Shaggy's like, oh God. I don't know why that made me laugh. Like, it's the worst disguise and it's just working.
Well, he does like the full reveal to him and then just immediately just puts back on the hat and they're like, oh yeah, no, it's not him anymore.
But yeah, then there's a Scooby dance.
Of course there's a dance scene.
You got to do a Scooby dance. And he's dancing and dancing and dancing, and then his wig falls off.
Oh no!
And everyone's like, "Oh no!"
Who was it then?
Huh?
Was it Scooby?
It was Scooby-Doo.
Oh!
They're all shocked. They're like, "Oh my God,
I didn't get it.
That man with a dog's face. It turns out he is a dog."
That happens way too often in these movies. People are just like,
"Why is it?" He has like normal dog legs when he's walking, but I think when they put him in outfits, he suddenly has human legs. That never made sense to me.
Are you really questioning the logistics of continuity and believability in a Scooby-Doo film?
Yes. Oh, we forgot to mention earlier, when they established that they're going to be detectives, Shaggy is wearing a green version of Fred's outfit, and Scooby is wearing Velma's sweater and Daphne's boots.
Yeah, the go-go boots.
That was them being like, okay, we're detectives now.
The only comment that they have is like Daphne insults the choice with the sweater.
Yeah, it's not that he's wearing the clothes, it's that they don't match.
Scooby, those so don't go with that sweater.
Really?
They're just so sick of their shit. They're just like, yeah, whatever. We don't care anymore. Which Fred is a completely unlikable person in this. Like the whole time. There was one moment where I actually was like, okay, Fred's all right. But like, if you really watch it and just pay attention to Fred, he's constantly like blaming everyone else. He doesn't take any like of his own accountability. It's very, very strange, like how they wrote Freddie Prinze Jr. in this one.
Yes, and I just want you to know that Velma is not farting.
Well, that was my outfit, I swear.
Or if you're into that, she absolutely is.
She makes a point to say like, no, that was the suit. That was definitely the suit. And it's like, fart jokes. Okay.
Or it was her. If you're into that.
If you're into that,
please,
I'm not.
Please subscribe to Hack the Movies.
So yeah, they get to the the museum, and it turns out it was robbed again. And then Alicia Silverstone, who is clearly the bad guy, questions Fred again. And he fucks up again.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. I do like that. He's like, you're going to take me out of context and make me say something like, Coolville sucks. And he's like, don't use that.
Don't. Please.
But yeah, so like Seth Green is like upset and he's all sad and he leaves. And I do like that fucking Velma like undoes the suit and it turns out she had her sweater underneath the entire time.
Yeah, which even in like costume department, like to hide that under that suit.
Yeah.
Props to the prop department. Like, Jesus. Like, there's no way she's fitting anything under there. It's like a full turtleneck.
Yeah. I do like that Daphne finally starts to question Alicia Silverstone. She's like, what are you doing? There's something up with you. But, then she gets disproven when the guy in the metal mask is suddenly on top of the building.
Yeah, because two people don't exist in the same
Two
area.
people can exist. I've never seen a Scream movie. Two people cannot exist.
Ooh, good callback.
Yeah. It's always two people except for Scream 3. Spoiler, if you've never seen a Scream movie.
I've never seen a Scream movie at all.
Well.
No, I'm just kidding. I've seen them all. They're
okay. Also, Seth Green is now a tough guy. Because he questions one of the people outside of the bar and he's like threatening to like beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he's all scary.
He's in the bad part of town and he's just getting the info. He's getting, which is weird because he like beats up a guy and he tells him to go get info.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know this guy. He just beat him up and was like, go get this for me and tell me later.
And I do like that he's like scaring Scooby and Shaggy. He's like, "Blah!" And they're like getting scared over and over again. They're like, okay, we gotta leave, man. You have fun.
Yeah, it was very... That was a very bait and switch moment. That's where I started to be like, all right.
We got to make like your personality and split.
Yeah.
Do you think that'd be a joke these days in a movie?
Yeah. That's my answer. Yeah.
James Gunn is now in charge of DC Comics movies.
Yeah. All right. So the new Suicide Squad remake was actually fun and I enjoyed it.
I loved it too. I loved it too.
Well, then why are you talking crap?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, if he has any input in, like, a Batman movie with Two-Face, I want him to reuse this joke.
I still want to see Jonah Hill as Penguin, but that's a whole other conversation.
I don't know. Colin Farrell was pretty good.
Listen, I don't care what your opinion is, because Jonah Hill...
Thanks for coming on to my movie review show and saying you don't care about my opinion. So I do like that they're following Peter Boyle to the condemned mine. Oh, God, no. Sign back in. Okay. They're following Peter Boyle to the condemned mine and they're like hiding in bushes. Son of a bitch.
That's why I was like, uh-oh. What's your password? Can you say it? Can you?
No, I'm not
typing,
saying my
say
password.
What your password is for Google.
Hold on.
Please.
I like that they're following Peter Boyle to the condemned mine and they're like hiding in bushes and like walking. But I feel like when they make a sound, he turns around and Peter Boyle's like, those bushes are yelling at me again.
Darn bushes yowling at me again.
Like, this is like a thing that happens to him often.
He plays a lot of PUBG.
Oh my God. But it turns out Peter Boyle is not the bad guy. He's a red herring.
Like
most of the characters on the show. And the character Red Herring in Pup Named Scooby-Doo.
That's what I thought you were referencing. I'm kind of sad now.
Red herring is a term.
I know.
But I think we talked about this in the last one.
We did.
But the fact that you just did the slightest reference, like, yeah, the Pup Named Scooby-Doo character, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you not remember him?
No, yeah, but I'm just sad that this is what we've come to.
So it turns out Peter Boyle is trying to turn the mine into a theme park that will trick people into actually mining stuff so they get free labor out of it. Oh, yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah.
18 hours down in the mines, like the good old days.
Yeah,
Sounds like
but
a really fucked up Nathan for you episode.
But then I feel like bad for him because like the Mr. Ink totally fucks up his pitch.
Bad.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, this guy is out of jail. He's reformed. He's trying to make a better life for himself. And you totally like screwed up his chance.
Yeah, it was, again, sad.
Yeah.
Mm.
They deserve everything that's coming to them.
He also did threaten to kill them when he was in the bar still if he saw them.
Well,
so is he really reformed?
Who hasn't gotten a little angry at a bar before?
Me. I don't go to bars, unfortunately.
No.
I just get angry online and then start yelling out into the void until I get blocked and banned.
Well, try it at a bar. You'll just get yelled at and punched. Probably more satisfying.
I don't want that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I like typing.
It's an option. It's an option if you want.
No.
Okay. Okay. So, Scooby and Shaggy go into like the mines and they find all these like liquid formulas and Scooby-Doo becomes a slug and Shaggy becomes a lady with boobs.
Super disturbing and confusing.
Were you confused during it?
Yeah, what the anatomy change would be like. What were you confused about?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I was confused that Scooby turned into the Tasmanian devil.
Like full animated too.
Wouldn't it make more sense if he turned into 2D Scooby-Doo? Like that would have been funnier, right?
That would have been funny. I personally enjoyed the Tasmanian devil
Yeah.
joke.
I did
that was
too.
one of the clips that I watched,
Yeah.
and I audibly laughed.
Was it like I know Warner Brothers loves to plug everything else they've worked on. So is that just like, hey, we haven't done a Looney Tunes thing in a bit? Can you throw Tasmanian Devil in there?
It was probably, hey, we need a callback to another property. You
Yeah.
have the Looney Tunes license. Figure it out.
Was this before or after Looney Tunes Back in Action? Because I think that flopped too.
Couldn't even tell you.
Back in Action. I think Back in Action was like 2002 or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, this would have been after that. I guess that one didn't do too well.
I could be wrong.
But then Shaggy becomes Buff Shaggy.
Yes.
And then
Where all the memes come from.
where all the memes come from. And now he didn't make it in Mortal Kombat, but that Warner Brothers Multiverses game, he is like a god tier like super powered character.
They needed to. That if they didn't make him semi OP in
Yeah.
that, there would have been no point to put him in.
But he's all buff and Scooby is now smart. And the first thing smart Scooby wants to do is go back to being dumb.
It's awful! Oh, I long for the blissful ignorance of my former self.
Which was very strange because
Yeah.
he has enough, like, he's competent enough to know, like, hey, I'm smart and I can, like, do things now. But maybe it's a happiness thing. Maybe the
he
burden
says he yearns for his more naive self.
Yeah, the burden of knowledge.
You've only been smart for 10 seconds. Give it a shot. Try it out for a bit.
Yeah. Imagine
But-
how the rest of us feel.
But then he cures himself of smartness, apparently. And they all enter the monster hive.
That was that monster hive scene. That was where it kind of clicked on me that every monster looks different. Every monster looks different in it. It's very strange, but like not in a good way. Like different. Like it's not like a callback different. It looks like they were all rendered in like different software with different methods by different artists.
Yes.
It's very strange.
Yes, there is a very big difference between like the gooey tar ghost and then the CG skeleton twin ghosts.
Yep.
They look very, very different from each other.
Even between those two, like those are both CG ones. Even between the guy who's in like the weird mask, I can't remember he's like the older looking one, and then Minor 49er. They're both practical, just with effects on them. They both look wildly different. It's very strange.
Yeah. A lot of inconsistencies. They all look good individually, I think. But when they're kind of grouped together, it just kind of looks a little bizarre.
Yeah, I don't feel like they were accounting for us adults picking apart their film.
They probably weren't.
Like
they probably
16 years
were.
later. I love the line. I think it's right around there where it's like, "We're gonna die. Think positive thoughts. We're gonna die quickly."
That is good.
We're gonna die.
Think positive.
We're gonna die quickly.
But yeah, so Shaggy and Scooby, they get the control panel and they get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Also they're responsible for making all the ghosts come to life.
Yes, because they're playing a sick beat.
Yes.
Like the kids will say these days.
That's what the kids say.
They're dropping hot fire all over the mining dungeon.
Oh my god. So yeah, then we get the surfing scene.
Do you want to know my exact quote for this?
What?
It rivals the Grand Budapest Hotel skiing scene.
Really, I have it. Looks terrible.
It looks amazing.
It looks so
it's
bad.
phenomenal.
The Grand Budapest Hotel is fucking perfect. I love that fucking movie.
The trash can lid surfing scene is just too amazing and rivals Wes Anderson's skiing scene in the Grand Budapest Hotel. Verbatim comment. If you don't think they are so similar in how they deliver, it is so ridiculously similar. Like, I had my phone up as I was watching that scene with the Grand Budapest one. I'm like, oh, wow, they're just as cheesy as each other. And I get Wes Anderson has like a level of cheese, but like, oh my God, was that scene amazing.
But yeah, the monsters start attacking the city, and we do see the pirate ship. But again, we don't really see a pirate, I think. We see his costume earlier on, but I don't think we see him moving around.
I don't remember, because the guy with the silver mask is the one who's like on the pirate ship.
Yeah, yeah. While they're like, they go to their old clubhouse, and they like reminisce to them being teens, like playing Frisbee and whatnot.
Who the hell are those kids?
I don't know.
Those are not them.
No, it's definitely not them. They're doing the voices, but that's not them.
Like, I saw that. I'm like, they couldn't try like 5 minutes harder to like really get these kids nailed down. Like, I'm like, these are like the Wish.com Mystery Inc. Like, it was bad. Can I say Wish.com?
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, okay.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, you're gonna get sued by like Tencent or whoever owns them at this point.
I don't think so.
Mike, do you know how that works?
I don't. Not at all. Ignorance is bliss. We established this earlier.
So they do some technobabble, and they figure out a way to reverse all the ghosts. And while that's happening, I like that Shaggy and Scoop are outside, and they're like, look, they're having a montage without us.
Like they're totally having a montage in there without us.
The fourth wall break there was fantastic.
But like the whole thing is Shaggy's like, every time we do anything, it's always on accident. I just want to do one thing on purpose that helps. And then the scuba ghost shows up. I actually like the van chase. As much as I didn't like the surfing, I like the van chase.
So the stunt people on that, amazing. They're riding out the back of the van.
Yeah.
This scene also has my favorite line in the entire movie.
Which one?
I kid you not, stands out to me at this one. And what is it?
This is tied for the most terrifying day of my life.
I was what?
Every other freaking day of my life.
I was rolling on my couch when he delivered that line.
There was another line earlier when they cure Shaggy of being a woman and a buff guy. Yeah, doesn't sound right.
Hold on, yeah.
Like, we cured you of being a woman and a buff guy. Yeah, so he, I think he says, like, I haven't felt that weird since, like, my first year of college.
That was almost exactly like my freshman year in college.
And I'm like, it's probably when he started experimenting.
With what?
Drugs.
Oh, I thought I was going to go for the more women.
I wonder why you guys haven't been on an episode in like a year.
Hey, I haven't said anything.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot. You're another mint salad in the making. Everyone's gonna be like, why didn't that guy talk?
Oh,
which is good, because then like a year from now, you'll show up not in a hoodie, start talking more, and you'll be making a ton of money on Brian's on the mint salad plan.
I'm out of this loop right now. I'm
Don't worry
so
about
out
it.
of context
Don't worry
because I
about
have
it.
no idea what you just said.
All right. So they get to the mine, and Fred is gonna joust the knight.
So badass.
Yeah.
On the old Indian bike, like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
And he somehow figured out a way to weld a giant pipe to it. That's pretty cool.
Phenomenal.
They do get their asses kicked. Like, even Daphne is like, all right, I'm gonna fight the electricity monster. And it's like, I'm sure she has a plan. No, she just jumps into it and gets fried. It's like, well, that wasn't a really good plan.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, that's what happens when you're like 80 years old and you try and fight anything elemental.
Ever see the movie Logan's Run?
No, is that for like 100-year-olds?
No, it's a futuristic movie.
From the 80s?
Earlier, I think.
I wasn't even born yet.
Yeah, but the plot line is like when you turn 30, a crystal in your palm will light up, and then people have to hunt you down and kill you because no one's allowed to live past 30.
Can you fight them?
I mean, that's what the movie's about. A guy's trying to make sure he can live.
Does he win?
I forget. I think he does.
Is it like Running Man, the better movie?
No, it's very different than Running Man.
Running Man has a sick hockey goalie.
Yeah, Sub-Zero, who is now Plain Zero.
Wait, what?
That was the joke in the movie.
Oh, yeah. God,
Sub is actually lower than Plain, so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
Why do we go off on this tangent?
I don't know. Brian gets us all distracted.
Oh, because she was like 100 years old and trying to fight the elements. That's what it was. Okay, anyway.
I do like when she lands, you can see the crash pad underneath the dirt.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, you see like the fabric and stuff underneath the dirt like move. It's like, okay. What you got? So the thing here is like everyone needs to believe in themselves. And Velma's like, come on, guys, you could do this. I believe in you. And she's like, I wish I could be more like you guys because you're so free and open with who you are. So she gives them the control panel.
Yeah, fantastic sentiment and very positive energy.
Yes, it was very, very good. And Shaggy realizes there's something that he can do, so he's gonna do it. Everyone believes in themselves.
He's gonna Scooby-Doo it.
He's gonna Scooby-Doo it. Everyone believes in themselves, and they start taking out the monsters.
Which they find out how to kill a ghost with jumper cables and a spear.
Yes.
Their one weakness.
That was pretty cool when they put the jumper cables on the metal, threw it in the electricity one, and then put the other jumper cables on the knight's balls.
It was literally on his chainmail.
Yeah.
What movie were you watching?
This
was not the same movie.
It was supposed to be his balls.
You stopped watching this and put on something else. And I don't like what
there
you
are
put on.
multiple Scooby-Doo porn parodies, so
I don't know about them. That's the problem. This is what you put on.
I really want to cut to the clip of one, but not like a porn scene. There's a famous clip from one of the Scooby-Doo porns where they're like, will you do it for a Scooby snack? And Shaggy's like, no. They're like, what about two Scooby snacks? He's like, no. And then Velma's like, what if I show you my ass? And he's like, okay.
That's out of character.
I really
Shaggy
wanted to
would
show
never.
that clip, but even though there's no nudity in that clip, YouTube could still look up that clip. It's funny.
They need to make like a reserved version of that film because that sounds fantastic.
There was a channel years ago that would take porn parodies and then take all the porn out so you could just watch them on YouTube.
It's like the old memes where they would like replace them with like snakes that people were like doing.
Actually, James Gunn had a mini series he did, but it was called Porn Minus Porn. And it was always like porn scenarios that were set up, but then they would just be normal scenarios. But the whole time you think they're going to get to the porn and they never do.
Sounds like a James Gunn type
yeah.
of deal.
And he had actual porn stars in it too, which made it even funnier.
That makes sense.
Like I think his brother played like a mechanic and like the whole time they're making innuendos and then he just fixes the car and leaves.
How'd
we get onto porn? Anyway.
How much did he charge? None.
And while this is happening, we get a classic Velma lost her glasses. And she even calls out, she's like, why don't I just get contacts? I'm like, okay. That's funny, but again, at this point, it had been like 12, 13 years of these movies making fun of their source material. It's like, okay, we're over it.
See, I appreciate it. I think it's a nice little callback.
It's funny now, but I can see at the time.
You see that? He folded right on his opinion. All I did was call him out on it.
No. It's funny. Like, I thought it was funny now, but I could see at the point, if you had just binged a bunch, if you watched like 2 or 3 of these movies like every fucking year, you would have been annoyed of it back then.
No, I think I would have appreciated it.
Well, you're an idiot.
Stays close to the source material, you son of a bitch. This is where my villain prediction changed, though. When she's down there and she meets Patrick, I was like, okay, I'm starting to think reporter, and then I see Patrick down there, I'm like, oh, they're like brother and sister or something weird.
I thought there was, because all right, so there is a shrine to the original pterodactyl ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And they see like a picture of him with like kids, and I was like, okay, is Seth Green like his son?
Was it like a weird orphanage situation?
Yeah.
That's what I was starting to think. Like, were they test subjects for this guy?
Yeah, it's a little unsure there, but yeah, so she runs away from him, and then he ends up saving her because she's like, no, all the facts point to you being a bad guy. He's like, what does your heart tell you? Fucking cheesy. Then a pterodactyl grabs him. There's a cotton candy ghost, and Scooby and Shaggy are like, we got this one. And I love that he's like, I'm going to kill you and all this stuff. And they're like, no, buddy. So they cannibalize him.
Legitimately. His parts are on their mouths in the next scene.
Yeah. It's pretty brutal.
It's awesome.
But then the tar monster shows up and he starts like suffocating the Scooby gang.
Yeah.
Starts like murdering them slowly.
As you do.
But then Scooby figures out he can use a fire extinguisher to freeze things.
That's fine.
That's
Checks out.
That's not how fire
Listen, it's based off a cartoon. Checks out in cartoons. Checks out here.
Tony, this is a movie where they stood on a rug.
Yeah.
The rug was pulled out from under them, and they stood over the hole for like 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
And then they fell.
No, that happens. Are you a physicist? Can you prove that doesn't happen?
Are you?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, me neither.
So, but I don't question these things.
I guess we're just a bunch of people sitting at a desk reviewing a movie for children, adults. Like...
So yeah, he Scooby-Doo saves the day with the fire extinguisher. Him and Shaggy, I think they get the control panel in there. They get rid of all the ghosts. They're all gone, and the Metal Man is revealed to be Alicia Silverstone. With the twist that Alicia Silverstone is actually the original pterodactyl ghost.
It's still Patrick. I don't care what their real ending was.
But I do like that they're like, I do like they're like, wait a minute, there were two of them. It's like, yeah, her cameraman was in on it.
Yeah, that was a nice little touch.
Yeah. But I enjoy Fred going like, and Ned is actually, like, pulls his hair and he's like, Ned.
I thought the weird part, like, when he's like, wait, you were a guy the whole time? We cuddled. And I was like, okay, so...
Look, James Gunn loves to make gay jokes. He likes to laugh at homosexuality. And that got him the job to be the head of DC.
I don't even know if that was like a sexual... I feel like that was a sexual assault joke. That man was forcefully cuddled by another man.
Oh, yeah, he didn't consent. He consented to... oh, yeah, that's bad.
And now he's going to be forcefully cuddled in jail. A lot. So...
He's going to make his own wingsuit to fly away.
Wait, maybe that was just foreshadowing. I'm just looking too far into it. Never mind.
Maybe. What a great topic to bring up during a children's film.
No problem.
But then again, they're making jokes about, like, fucking drugs and stuff, so fuck that.
Again, Velma in a vinyl suit.
So yeah, speaking of Velma, she's finally going to get laid. She's happy about it.
They're just going on a date, my guy.
Shaggy and Scooby, they fight on accident, but then they realize that they're not ghosts, they're best friends, and then they all sing with Ruben Studdard.
Fantastic scene. Probably one of my favorites.
Brian, who's Ruben Studdard?
Was he on American Idol?
He was the second winner of American Idol, yes.
They're also singing an Earth, Wind, and Fire song.
That was the thing. He won American Idol, and then that was like the song they did for him, so he just covered someone else's song.
See, no one else can hear it because of YouTube's copyright, but I'm actually listening to the song right now.
I'm listening to it too. And Brian's not because he hasn't watched the movie in 20 years. But yes, that was Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. I probably should have watched it when I was more awake, but I will say I think I like this more than the first one.
Ooh, okay, so I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
There were a few audible sigh moments.
Mm-hmm.
It has a noticeably lower score on Rotten Tomatoes, which is not saying much because the first one is pretty low. I think it's a good sequel to what it is.
I think it's superior to the first one.
I wouldn't say that. I say if anything, it's right about on par with it. But I love the callbacks to the old show.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good just, okay, let's ground it more to like the Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And it's amazing in that aspect. So that got me excited. So, and then they kept with that modern style, which made the first one good. I would have loved to see a third one based on this.
The third one apparently was going to be, they go to like Scotland or whatever. But the twist is that they're trying to help monsters who are being attacked by humans.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
What is wrong with Warner Brothers?
I don't know. They did do a bunch of live action movies though, like prequels and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't care about any of those.
There's a prequel that's just about Daphne and Velma. I think Matthew Lillard comes back for some of them, right?
He was the voice of Shaggy for a while.
Yeah.
But the problem is like that casting for these two movies was so strong, even with like subpar writing, we'll say.
Yeah.
They made it.
Yeah.
Except for Freddie Prinze Jr. He was in the second one. He was very unlikable for most of it because he was a Debbie Downer. It's like that one buddy in your friend group that just like won't stop complaining about crap all the time. And you're just like, dude, just shut up. Like, just nobody cares anymore. Brian.
All right. So this is why I wasn't invited.
Yeah, the only other note I have is that it was definitely fake news, the movie, because it was literally fake news. It was her creating the news.
Brian, what did you think?
Well, from the few clips I watched on YouTube prior to filming this, I liked how cartoony it was. I really appreciated that they did like those little bits, like the carpet pulling, they look down, they fall.
Yeah.
Like they're rolling around in the giant
They
ball.
embrace those moments a little bit more.
100%. Yeah.
Tasmanian devil joke.
Yeah. And I do like the monsters. Even like the bad CGI monsters look better than the ones in the previous film. The big rabbit looking things.
I like that the last ones were consistent.
I guess.
That's the only thing that stood out to me is like whenever there were multiple monsters in this one, it threw me off. Whereas in the last one, it's like, okay, they're all just crappy CGI.
And I'm okay that Scrappy wasn't part of this, but it would have been nice to like see Scrappy in prison. That would have been nice to have seen.
So the ending bonus scene, that's what I was expecting. I was expecting like them to show them in prison with Scrappy or something. But no, it's a freaking Game Boy Advance cheat code that they show as the bonus scene at the end of the credits.
I missed that.
Yeah, it's like the last 10 seconds. There's a, hey, here's for the Game Boy Advance tie-in game. It's
my God, I missed that.
It's just SD2 if you're looking.
Okay.
Just so you know. If you're emulating it on your Raspberry Pi.
It would have been cool to see like Scrappy at the bar.
See, I think it would have been dope at the very end to have the guy who's the pterodactyl and his assistant go in a cell and their cellmate is Scrappy. Like
he's got like prison tattoos.
Yeah, like it just
the teardrop on the eye.
I think that would have been the best way to kind of like throw Scrappy in. So he's not in the bar and he recognizes it's just this little like, what are you guys in here for? And it's just like, oh no, like that's awful.
Did movies do that kind of stuff back then? I feel like that's more of a recent.
Post-credit stuff has been around for a very long time. It wasn't until the Marvel movies went all in on them that they became more of a thing.
Yeah. It's just, I feel like this one was necessary because it was a tie-in with a video game. But
yeah. But anyway, that was Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Thank you guys for coming back to talk about this. Sorry it took so long.
I know you invited us forever ago, but you know, I'm super busy. And last time, since we were doing you a favor, since you were such a small channel.
You guys are on like right before the show blew up.
Yeah, it was very strange.
Because I think sometimes people will ask me to review Scooby-Doo and I'm just like, nah, I did. Go back.
Yeah, go back.
It's there.
Who the hell are those guys?
So where can I find you guys?
If you go on YouTube, the new user system, youtube.com/@unmarketable.
Okay.
Very fun channel name.
Yes.
But yeah, that's going to be probably the best place to find me. Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, you just find me on Twitter that I don't use.
Oh boy.
@ObsidiaBrian.
Why don't you use Twitter anymore?
I just never used Twitter.
I use it to say you live in your car. Literally.
And please like, share, and subscribe, and check out our Patreon and all that fun stuff. Did you like Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed? Let me know. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye.
They're playing like Felicia versus Bishamon, and if Bishamon ends with a certain move, you just cut Felicia in half.
Did you make sure to see Orchid's thong? Here's 30 more chances as she spins around.
See, you've got the Batgirl shirt on, and you're wearing a Robin t-shirt.
Batgirl and Robin to your Batman.
And Turtles is like Star Wars in the Star Wars is a 70s thing that ran into the 80s. Turtles started in the 80s, but really grew in the 90s.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.
Talking about tapes.